Yeah, I think your tactical eye is good, Tim.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Emma Hayes highlighted before the game as well, she talked about how strong Arsenal are on counter-attacks, and felt like she got a good view of that again today. How pleased were you with that aspect of the performance in particular, and how much did you talk about those opportunities to counter, particularly down the sides?
Yeah, we know the way Chelsea play defense also, it's really important to not be stuck on the ball on your own half. So either you break out, and what I was really pleased about, especially in the first half, was that we had a good mixture of, from those moments, being able to create goal-scoring opportunities, but also put our foot on the ball and manage. And it's a total different game there to manage the ball on their half. And I think the way we managed the ball against Chelsea, I haven't seen any team, apart from Barcelona, doing that well against them over so long spells in the game. So that was really nice to see.
Art.
Hi, Jonas. I know in the week you spoke about those principles that you started to get right, and I think against Manchester City you called that performance holistic, but this one felt even more complete. So I was just wondering how you felt about that, because people will focus on Beth Mead scoring, but also thought going back she dealt with Lauren James really well.
No, you're right. And against Manchester City, the first 15 minutes were poor from us. But it's easy to forget that because the result was great. But we turned over the ball so many times, and on another day Manchester City could have scored and we would have been off to a completely different start. So one of the learnings was to say, like, how do we go into a game to not only be surprised, not be surprised by the intensity of the opponent, but trying to surprise them by the intensity. And that has been our training culture. And that has been the most important part of saying, like, how do we get our training culture to a point where we can apply our principles on an intensity level high enough so we feel prepped going in, and that everybody understands that responsibility of what do I need to bring to training in order to make the team being prepared to do that. And I think that has been great. It was great before the West Ham game, and these 2 days here leading up to Chelsea, I think the players has been phenomenal in the way that they have trained, that they have prepared. So then it was extra pleasing to see that they could reap the rewards from that.
And something that went a little bit under the radar, Lauren James was seen maybe kicking out a little bit at Leo Volti. I was wondering if you saw that and if you had any thoughts on that at the time.
I saw it, but yeah, I don't think I can really comment on it. It's like, I think we get 6 yellow cards, they get 1 yellow card in a game where it's very even from a foul perspective, but it is what it is.
Emma.
Yeah, Jonas, congratulations on the win. In terms of the overall performance, obviously we know that Arsenal have obviously got the potential to play like that every week, but is that kind of a sign that this team is more than capable of winning the WSL, especially with performances like that?
It's our strongest performance so far this season, but in football, if you want to win things, you need to be consistent with the performances. So it's great that you have a high. Now becomes what's your baseline? What's your standard when you're playing? And this is always the hard thing in football. Now you need to recover, refresh, both mentally, physically. We need to be ready on Wednesday again. I think what is telling for me when you see the reaction is, yes, we're happy today, but at the end of the day, it's our end position, our finishing position in the league. That's what's going to matter. Nothing have been won or lost today in that regard. So stay focused, keep developing. We need to have consistent and good performances. And then this here can be very valuable, but that's only going to be determined by the future performances.
I guess I totally take your point in terms of, it's just one game. But when you look at the potential psychological impact of the manner in which you beat Chelsea, what impact do you think that can have on both your side in a positive way, going into the next couple of weeks, and obviously Chelsea perhaps in a negative way for them going into the next couple of weeks?
Chelsea I don't comment on, but for us, of course, I I think when you are aware of what you're doing, that leads you to success, that increases the likelihood of you doing that again. And I think, like I answered Art's question before, to say like our training culture, I think has been really strong. And I think that's a real key thing for us to keep a hold of that, because you can really feel how we're using the competitiveness in our squad in a really good way of preparing ourselves for the next games and taking us to new heights. But it's about doing that work day in, day out, and there's no shortcuts to it. Thank you.
Jack.
Congratulations, Jonas. I know every time it seems we come here, we're talking about record crowds, but another attendance record set today. But not just the numbers, but also what you make of the whole atmosphere in general. Because I saw after Chelsea scored, you were kind of like rallying the home support as well.
Yeah, I think they were great, the crowd. I think there was a real clear synergy between the team and the crowd today. I think the crowd started off great, but so did the team, and that took it to new heights. And I think you could see that momentum when we scored 2-1, that we scored 3-1 very closely after that. That's something that I think it really helps with the crowd. You could see players interacting a lot with the crowd, getting the energy levels high up. If you compare that to 2.5 seasons ago, those things happen so much more frequently, and that's so good for our performance and for the atmosphere. Now we just need to keep on pushing and having more experiences like this at Emirates Stadium. But today was a great club for the football club.
Anything further? Yeah.
How do you, sorry, Emma Hayes said that her team was bullied by your side. I mean, how do you explain her what you believe the bullying aspect was? You mentioned training intensity. Is that part of the training intensity to bully the opposition wherever possible?
I wouldn't use that word, because I think what we do is that we pass the ball really nice, with position really good, and that gives them much less time and space in that. But that's our quality on the ball. And what I think she might refer to is that they might feel a little bit suffocated at times because the time and space becomes too little for that. But I'm not sure, I'm not a native speaker of English, but I'm not sure that bullying is the right word to doing that. I think we play some high quality football.
I think she's talking about the duels, like the off-field duels.
Physical dominance.
Yeah, she's saying that
It's a
your players
positive.
were winning sort of 50-50 balls and loose balls a lot more often than hers.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in these 50-50 balls, because one comes out of the ball winning, so it was obviously not 50-50. It was 51-49 maybe. And why is it 51-49? Because you have a better starting position. Maybe you're a little bit more intelligent than your opposing player, and or maybe you're a little bit stronger. We turned a lot of those situations that people say 50-50 to 51-49s, and that's really important in football.
We'll just go to Meg and then.
Hi, Jonas, congratulations. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Palova's performance, because she didn't get on the score sheet, but she was absolutely everywhere and she really commanded that midfield today, didn't she?
Yeah, so look at the first goal, and look at Palova's run in that transition moment. And you tell me that run is not the investment for a team that wants to win a football match. And that's the whole difference, that we end up getting Beth Mead on the ball there, and she can show all her skill and all her composure and great finishing to score. But to have a central midfielder that are able to invest that run into that. And I think that's why Palova has been so great for us here in the autumn, because she's a great technical player. She's street smart as well on the football pitch. But my God, she runs now also. And that's important, and we need that. And that's why she has been a really strong player for us lately.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Hi, Jonas. Congratulations again. We saw Kim Little come off in the second half there. Just wanted an update as to how she's doing. You know what's going on with her.
I spoke to Kim after. I can never have a clear update, but I don't think there is any major concern. I think it's a matter of also the competition that we have in the squad, and the feeling when you feel that you can't go 100%, there's no need for anyone to go 90% in our squad. The players know that also, that our bench is so strong, it's filled with game changers, and they are ready to come on. And that's a really, what should you say, a wise decision for the team also. When you feel that you can't go 100%, let another player come on and do the work. And I think that shows another aspect of Kim Little's leadership, with her always putting the team first.
Thank you.
Great. We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.